Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday for Teachers. So, today we are going to talk about how AI is rapidly becoming a part of everybody's life and teachers' toolkit. Most of us are already using AI to create lesson plans, worksheets, presentations, and assessments. But the real question is, how do we move beyond using AI for teaching and start using it to make learning happen? In this week's Tech Talk Tuesday, we will explore how teachers can use AI as a creative teacher's co pilot to design meaningful learning experiences, spark curiosity, develop critical thinking, and choose the right pedagogical approach that helps students construct understanding rather than simply consume information. So, here we welcome you in today's TTT. I request you all to please drop your name with the school name and city and answer the question. How do you introduce a topic? You usually start with a question, video, story, activity, or just telling. So, how do you start any new topic? Choose the whatever is relevant for you. So, we have Alish Khan, AI ambassador from Bhopal. Welcome. I request everyone to drop your name with the school name, city, and share. When introducing a topic, you usually start with question, video, story, activity, or telling. It is very important how a topic is started. Like it is said, a good start always take the learning journey to the good end. So it is not only about just introducing a topic, it is about what is the way. Am I starting with the curiosity question? Am I starting with a video that students connect and then bringing the topic? What are you using in your class? So I request everyone to drop your name, school name, and city and answer this question. While let us look at today's agenda. So today session is highly practical. We are going to leave with a different mindset, better prompting habits, decision making framework, strategies to use Copilot as a thinking partner, and hopefully one big realization: AI doesn't replace teaching, it amplifies thoughtful teaching. For example, how do we create a learning design? Welcome, Nidhi ma'am from Balbharti School, and Nikita Chaudhary from Ajmer, Rajasthan is sharing that she starts the topic by activity. Wonderful. Srishti Pandey ma'am from St. Mary, welcome. So I'll give you an example. Suppose I want to teach climate change. So will I just ask students to open their notebook and tell them today we will study about climate change? Or my question will be, what if tomorrow your city do not have any water or do not have any drinking water? So I would like to leave start my class with students thinking about something connected to real life, thinking what would have happened instead of directly telling the topic. Same topic, but creating a different experiences. That is what we need to look at. How we can create a different learning experience for the learners. So, moving ahead to our agenda, let's start with topic Torchlight, which is Creative Teachers Copilot. Um, I think if we look at content is everywhere. right? If you want a worksheet and you start searching for it, I'm sure you all will end up opening 17 tabs, isn't it? So there's a lot of content everywhere. AI can provide you, you can search and find it. But what is the challenge? The challenge is teachers are drowning in all these resources that are full of and choosing the right resource for their classroom. For example, if I ask AI for photosynthesis, I can get 100 activities in 10 seconds. The challenge becomes which one matters for my students, which one builds understanding, which one addresses misconceptions. That is teachers' decision. So teachers find meaning into the content that they search for. In today's session, Curating Content with AI, we will explore how Microsoft Copilot can become our thinking partner in discovering, organizing, personalizing, and creating learning experiences that truly support students' understanding. By the end of this session, you will walk away with practical strategies to save time, enhance learning, and make AI work for you as an educator. Let's dive in. Okay, here's a question for you all. If AI can create lesson plan in 30 seconds, what is unique role of the teacher? Write your responses in the chat box. I'll be giving you 30 seconds to answer. Okay, so here we have Ritu Bhatia ma'am is saying to create assignment to facilitate learning that students understand it right. Wonderful, Kiran Goyal ma'am. Effective implementation, very well said. So we know that AI can generate content. Teachers create learning experiences. How the same content, if you uh, the same content, if you provide to different teachers, will it be that every teacher will conduct the class in same way? The same lesson plan will be implemented in different way by every teacher. That is what makes a teacher different, right? Learning happens through questioning, interaction, reflection, and application. Teaching content is easy. Designing learning is the real expertise. And for that, you teachers are here. So today, almost every teacher is using AI to support teaching and learning, from lesson plans and assessments to presentation and worksheets. AI can create content in seconds. However, the real challenge is not generating content. The challenge is leveraging AI to think more deeply about learning itself. What is the right group for this group of learners? What teaching strategy will make student curious? How can students actively construct understanding instead of simply receiving the information? How can we help students think, question, analyze, and create? We need to ask all such kind of questions to get what is relevant for our learners. I'm sure in your class, you only can observe whether, you know, Arab understands visually while Mira understands through storytelling. That you know, not the AI. You notice the confusion on the learner's face. You build the relationship, you motivate the learners, and you adapt in the moment. That is what makes you different from AI. So today we will be moving from AI assistant to created teachers copilot. Instead of help me create, we'll be focusing more on help me think. That's the shift we look forward to. Absolutely, Ritu ma'am. Correct prompting is very important, and reflecting on the output is also very important. Just an ordinary use of AI focuses on output, but if I use AI creatively, that focuses on impact. Suppose I just ask to create a worksheet, right? Then I may get very simple questions. But if my prompt says, uh, how can create a worksheet that makes students think and explore the concepts and bring questions related to misconception, that will be the right worksheet that will give a kind of experience to my learners. Most of us usually begin with the output, but a real teacher begins with learning. What do I want for my learners? That is something should be in the mind while writing your prompting, while accepting their responses. What is more important? Creating the content faster or making the learning better? I'm sure as a teacher, you will definitely focus on making the learning better. And we know we want Copilot to be our partner in making learning better, not just giving the outcomes faster. So let's try out. We have these two prompts and let's see how they give different outcome. So I'll be moving to Copilot and sharing with you. Give me a minute. Okay, here I give a simple prompt. Give me 5 classroom engagement activities to explore the concept of fractions for class 3 in a period of 35 minutes. Hardly few seconds, in a fraction of seconds, I have different activities that it provides. Fraction pizza, fraction flash move, fraction sorting challenge, human fraction groups, fraction hunt exist task. Now I'll be improvising my prompt and asking it further. I want more students to participate meaningfully in discussion, not just answer question. Suggest 5 strategies, how each strategy will develop student thinking, collaboration, and confidence. So now it is also telling me the strategies where students participate meaningfully, along with the question, telling me how it works, how it develops student thinking, how it develops collaboration, and how it develops confidence. Turn and talk. So again, reflecting on each of the activities, so I can not only look at what it is suggesting, but I can see how it develops collaboration, confidence, and students thinking, and accordingly I can decide which one to choose. So I'm sure this matters how we are giving the prompt. I Is my prompt related to just looking at the output, or is my prompt related to making them think, or whatever is my purpose, they are participating meaningfully, they are collaborating. So am I reflecting on that? Am I reflecting on the learning experience? That is what matters. Just give me a minute, I'll be sharing my PPT again. Yeah, so I hope all of you can see the slides. So it depends how, we need to understand what is the challenge of my classroom. For example, here, if I want to improve students' participation and want to go beyond just activities, but make them think, collaborate, and develop the confidence, then I would write my prompt in this way. Similarly, rather than asking just to create a worksheet or generate MCQs or PPT or lesson plan, how can I ask, a better teacher ask, how can student discover the concepts themselves? What misconceptions might student have? It is very important, whatever lesson you start with, once we know what are the misconceptions, our lesson will be planned better because we will be dealing with each of the misconceptions in our class. How can I differentiate this lesson? As I discussed, suppose I know Arav learns visually, whereas Mira learns by reading or research through research work. So I need to plan activities according to the learner's strength, their way of learning, giving them some experiences related to that. Which pedagogy works best for this learning goal? How can I make learning more inquiry driven? So all such kind of reflective questions, I suggest try it out with your AI. Once you get your output, and I'm sure your class will have better learning experiences. Instead of just looking for answer, we need to look for possibilities. For example, I'm trying to improve student discussion during literature lesson. Suggest five unconventional approaches. Now, rather than just asking for approaches, why not ask for unconventional approach? Also, ask AI to reflect on each of the approach the way we just did. You know, AI is only suggesting me the activity or strategies and also reflecting whether it how is it developing, confidence, collaboration, student thinking. Same way, it will be telling you about the unconventional approach, what are the strength and limitation of each, and that makes your life easy to choose which one should I go for, not just with the attraction of that activity. They don't assume AI suggestion. So we don't need to assume that every AI suggestion is good. And from my experience, I'm telling you, I have worked with teachers, especially for foundation years. They find so many good activities when they are planning for lesson. They end up, adding all the activities in their lesson. And as a teacher, it becomes a struggle. This is also good. This is also good. And we want to take it all. But sometimes we forget, what do I need for my learners? Right? So we need to rethink, reflect what AI is suggesting. Imagine, or think about your classroom, your learners, and then choose. For example, evaluate these 5 discussion strategies from the perspective of student engagement, inclusivity, and cognitive challenge. So that will also give again reflection on each of the discussion strategy. Another prompt, seeing through the eyes of the learner. What might a confident learner, a struggling learner, and a quiet learner experience this activity differently? We all have different learners in our classroom, and one activity will be um, received by each of the learner in different way. So when you're planning your lesson, just pick the part that has some activity, or just pick a period lesson plan and ask AI to reflect on that. Now, I would like you to think of a concept your students have recently learned, or recently you are working on it. Okay. Now you want more students to participate meaningfully in discussion, not just answer question. So we have already seen this. Suggest 5 strategies, explain how each strategy will develop student thinking, collaboration, and confidence. So I suggest you try out this prompt for the concept you are doing in your classroom and ask AI to suggest 5 strategies and you know explain how each strategy will develop student thinking, collaboration, and confidence. Copilot may generate ideas like it generated for fraction, think, pair, and share, silent conversations, debate circles, student question leader, choice based discussion board. So, what do you get for your topic? That may vary. Now, suppose it says debate circles. You need to think about, do I need to, a teacher A may accept this suggestion. Oh, students really enjoy discussion. Let me see, take this. Teacher B thinks student needs sentence stem and scaffolding first. I need to adapt it. Another teacher may say learners are still building foundational understanding. I can't take this. Let me reject this. This is the reflection after the AI output you get. So we need to look at what responses do we get from AI and do I accept, adapt, or reject? So for your topic, which of the ideas will you accept out of these 5 generated ideas, improve or reject? Write in the chat box. Think about the topic that your students are recently learning and then decide whether, let's talk about think, pair, and share. Am I going to accept think, pair, and share, improvise it, or reject it? Next one is silent conversation. Am I going to accept this, improvise, or reject? Another one, debate circles. What am I going to do on this? So, out of these 5 options, which one will you accept for your topic? 1, think, pair, and share. 2, silent conversation. 3, debate circle. 4, student question leaders. 5, choice based discussion. Anupma ma'am says she will adapt. Which one would you like to adapt, ma'am? For all or for some selected ones? Please share. And which one would you like to reject? Let me know. That maybe that any of the strategy that you feel this is not sure. Ritu ma'am says think, pair, and share. I'll adapt. Kiran ma'am also says think, pair, and share, but need to be improvised. Anupma ma'am want to adapt debate circles. So that's the role of teacher. How you all are, writing here. You decide after AI responses whether I need to improvise, accept, or reject. When you accept, it means you are using it immediately. You improvise to adapt it according to your learner's need. And the idea is not good, not a good fit for my classroom. I would like to reject, right? So here is an activity time for you all. I would request you all to please open the Copilot. I'm sharing this prompt with you in the chat box and try this out with the Copilot. Just give me a minute. I'll share this with you all. Copy this prompt, go to Copilot, try it out, and then we'll have the reflection. As an instruction, so first of all, you are telling the role to the Copilot, act as an instructional coach. Then you're telling what do you want? I want students to become more independent learners in writing a creative writing piece on synthetic material and their impact on ecosystem. You can take the same topic, you can change the topic relevant to your subject. It's your choice. Suggest 5 strategies. For each strategy, explain how it improves learning. Identify potential challenges. Third, recommend whether I should accept, remove, improve, or reject Why? I'm sure you all are trying this with your Copilot. I'm giving you one more minute to try it out and come back with your reflection. So, moving ahead, I hope you all are ready with your reflection. Let's look at human in the loop. Without human, no AI can work. So, I'm sure with all the strategies that has listed, you have decided which one are you going to accept, which one would you, are you going to improve, and which one are you going to reflect or reject, right? So, I hope you all are ready with your choices. Okay, now tell me a change that can make your activity stronger. So whatever strategies you have got, now take a moment to share with your table group. um, Tell me which activity, or you can share your chat responses, Copilot responses in the chat box. Which one are you planning to accept as it is? What change are you planning that can make activity stronger? One thing you would like to adjust before using the activity, share in the group. We are not allowed to see your Copilot. You can press the copy button and paste your response here. Okay. Anu ma'am has shared her Copilot response. So it is about allow student to choose and present their creative writing piece. And you are going to adapt this, Anu ma'am, or Anju ma'am, or are you going to accept this as it is? Yeah, yes, sir. This is the prompt you need to give to Copilot. And after that, what change will you bring to AI response that made the activity stronger? One thing you would adjust during before using the activity. How are you going to adapt? So share any one of that in the chat box. I am sure you all improvise as per the learner's requirement, right? And Anju ma'am is saying that I will accept student choice as powerful driver for of independence and engagement when supported with clear success criteria. Absolutely. Vidhi ma'am has also shared. Uh, okay. So this is what AI is suggesting you accept, but with scaffolding. Provide each question stems like what would you happen if? How does it affect? So AI recommending you itself that you can accept it, but what adaptation, what improvement you can bring to your activity and you can make it better. Isn't it beautiful? So here we are with our educator Dharmendra sir, who is from CM SHRI Dwarka Sector 6 School, and he is TGT Hindi. He is using Copilot in his classroom and will be sharing his story. So I'll just invite Dharmendra sir here. Just give me a minute. Okay, he seems, I think he has dropped um, from the session. Achal, could you please check with the Dharmin sir whether he is facing any internet issue or something? And till then, we can proceed with further slide and can come back to this.
He is connecting, ma'am.
Okay. So in our community highlight, it is for students today. Microsoft have students ambassador program, and uh, any student who is 18 plus years old can become the part of this program. Applications are open for them. They need to register. Eligibility is 18 plus year, enrolled full-time at an accredited educational institution, and receive their contributors ID. Once they register, they can choose the path to become community influencer, community skiller, and earn their credentials. The way teachers have their credentials, students also get an opportunity to become student ambassador, associate, and senior. So we not only empower teachers, rather we also empower our learners. In our social spotlight, we always talk about responsible AI adoption. So it is very important to equip your students with essential AI skills for the future of work. AI is redefining what work ready means, and an institution are being asked to respond now. Employers are already shifting their expectations, placing greater emphasis on AI literacy, critical thinking, and the ability to guide AI driven work rather than complete tasks manually. At the same time, most learners' models haven't fully adapted. So it is very important our learners to be AI empowered, using it ethically and responsibly. How do you evolve curriculum and student experiences to reflect the realities student will enter without compromising foundational skills and human judgment? As we are discussing about human judgment, that is very important. And with Microsoft, you get a safe platform for the learners. AI in school succeeds when students and school data is protected. That is what Microsoft brings to you. K to 12 leaders need confidence that AI tools support without compromising privacy, compliance, or trust. That starts with clear data protection. Yes, Anchal.
यस मैम मैम धर्मेंद्र सर इज़ हेयर एक्चुअली उन्होंने दूसरी आईडी से लॉगिन किया है हिज आईडी इज सानवी
Sanvi.
यस मैम he is with us and he just updated me that he joined with Sanvi ID.
Yes, I can see him. So I'll just finish this slide and then we'll move back to Educator Limelight. So at the
Okay,
end,
ma'am.
I will say it is very important for every school to have a tool that ensures privacy and protect your data. For that, if you want, you can read this complete, book that tells you about the AI, Microsoft privacy. Now, moving back to our Educator Limelight, we have our Dharmendra sir here from CM SHRI School, Dwarka Sector 6. I would like to welcome him and share his experience with us. Dharmendra sir, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Welcome,
I'm
Dharmendra
audible,
sir.
ma'am.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. सबसे पहले तो आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. uh, जैसा कि मैं अभी आप लोगों की सारी ये ट्रेनिंग स्लाइड्स देख रहा था, आज के समय में जो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज हमारे सामने आ रहा है स्कूल्स में, स्पेशली हमारे जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स हैं, उनमें टाइम को लेके बड़ा इशू रहता है। अभी मनप्रीत मैम आई, उनके साथ ये टाइप हुआ और को पायलट पे हमने ट्रेनिंग्स वगैरह ली, तो मैंने एक पाया कि हमारी जो बुक्स ना बहुत जल्दी, अभी रिसेंटली सारी बुक्स ना चेंज की गई है एनसीईआरटी में, और बहुत से टॉपिक्स ना नए डाल दिए गए हैं। तो को पायलट का जो मैंने बहुत अच्छा सा, जो मैंने अपने टीचिंग में यूज देखा, जैसा कि आप स्लाइड में देख भी पा रहे हैं, हमें अक्सर डायरी लिखनी होती है तो उसमें प्लान करना होता है पहले से ही कि किस तरह से हमें बच्चों को पढ़ाना है, क्या लर्निंग आउटकम्स होंगे, क्या हमारी टीचिंग स्ट्रेटजीज होंगी। तो काफी हद तक मैंने देखा कि को पायलट पे मैंने जैसे प्रॉम्प्ट दिया, लेसन का नाम दिया, लिखा, और जो मैं चाहता था उन चीजों को मैंने प्रॉम्प्ट में डाला, तो बहुत अच्छे से एक वेल प्लान्ड पूरा लेसन प्लान बन के आ जाता है। हाँ, उसमें कुछ थोड़े बहुत जो चेंजेस होते हैं उनको हम अगेन प्रॉम्प्ट में डाल के एडिट में करके डाल देते हैं, और एक बहुत अच्छा लेसन प्लान और नए नए थॉट्स, नए तरीके, आइडियाज निकल कर सामने आ जाते हैं, जिससे कि मुझे तो काफी हेल्पफुल लगा अपनी क्लास के लिए। इसके अलावा और भी बहुत से हमारे काम हो जाते हैं, कई बार रिपोर्ट्स हमें लिखनी होती हैं, तो उन रिपोर्ट्स को लिखने में, नए आइडियाज को, नए नए थॉट्स को डालने में काफी हद तक मुझे ऐसा लगता है को पायलट ने मेरी मदद करी है। और जो नए नए हमारे टॉपिक्स हैं उनको समझने में, उनसे जुड़ी हुई बातों को और सर्च करने में, इन सब चीज़ों में काफ़ी हद तक मेरी मदद भी करी है और मुझे काफ़ी यूज़फुल लगा, और मुझे लगता है कि काफ़ी अच्छा यूज़फुल ये टूल है और हर किसी को इसका यूज़ करना चाहिए। ये हमारी टीचिंग को और ज़्यादा बेहतर बनाने में हमारी मदद भी कर रहा है, और मैंने देखा है कि हमारी टीचिंग में क्वालिटी भी निकल के इसमें आ जाती है।
Sir, I would request you to share one different experience that has come through Copilot ideas. You know, आप already इतने सालों से you are teaching in your classroom, but what is
राइट।
one wow experience you had through Copilot?
मैम, देखिए मैंने जो पाया कि अब तक तो हमें ये था कि जैसे हमने टीचिंग के लिए पढ़ाई करी, बुक्स पढ़ी, और कुछ जो तरीके फिक्स होते हैं, हम केवल उन्हीं तक ही हमारे माइंड में आइडियाज आ पाते हैं, और उन्हीं को हम बच्चों के ऊपर क्लास में यूज करते हैं। पर जैसे मैं इस कोपायलट पे प्रॉम्प्ट डालता हूँ लेसन प्लान के लिए, तो कुछ ऐसे यूनिक आइडियाज भी निकल कर आते हैं जो हमने शायद पहले कभी सोचे ही नहीं थे, और बहुत अच्छे तरीके से हम उसको क्लास में यूज भी कर पा रहे हैं। ये मैंने एक इसमें डिफरेंस देखा है। और सबसे मैम, सबसे मेन चीज क्या है कि ना, अगर मैं गवर्नमेंट स्कूल की बात करूं, तो हमारे पास टाइम बिल्कुल भी नहीं है सोचने के लिए। तो हमारे टाइम को काफी हद तक सेव भी किया है, और जो मुझे लगता है कि अगर हम कोई प्रॉम्प्ट देते हैं उसमें हम सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हो पा रहे हैं, तो उसको दोबारा एडिट में डाल के ठीक कर सकते हैं। तो टाइम का एक बहुत बड़ा इशू था जो काफी हद तक सॉल्व इन्होंने किया है वो पायलट ने, और
I
ये
totally
मैं
agree
कहना
with you,
चाहूँगा।
sir.
जी।
Uh, because I had worked with government teachers for years, so I know how much difficult it is for you all. You have not only the responsibility of the learners, but also the nation. Sometimes election duties, sometimes BLO duties, and all other tasks that keeps coming your way along with the learning of the learners. And
जी।
I'm happy to see that how Copilot is helping you in such a difficult journey, making your task easy. Thank you, sir, for sharing your story with us.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू।
So, moving ahead, we have a wonderful feature headlight today, and I am sure you all are going to love this. Behind the chat, who is there behind this AI chat that we are doing? Very important. We all must know that it is very important to say have safe AI conversation. Are we talking about this? Because we are dealing with learners, we all are parents also, we need to understand what is happening. So let's pick a story for today, that is anyone listening? When we write to AI, is there any human sitting behind? Who is listening to us? How is AI responding to us? We need to focus on that. So today's emphasis is on, is anyone listening? Now let's look at um, A story of Ray, a girl who, who is having a hard day, and she opens her AI. And we all know, if not anywhere, nowadays students are using AI anyway. Even if they open WhatsApp, there is Meta AI to converse with. So similarly, Ray was having a hard day, and she opens her AI to vent, but end up sharing more than she meant to. I'm sure many of us will see such kind of learners, such kind of children in our surrounding who are talking to AI. And we need to be careful. Even if we are not noticing, we need to be careful. What is our kids doing with AI? We need to talk about all this. Let's look at what is happening. It's a Tuesday night, and this is what Ray write to AI. Today was honestly the worst. That is the first thing Ray typed. Being a new girl in the school, she felt lonely. She expected, her best friend is not there. So she was having a lonely time. She felt it's the worst day. And she wrote it to the chatbot. What happened next? How AI is responding? Just look at that. I'm sorry to hear that. What happened? It is interacting like a human. And our kids started believing that there is somebody who is listening to them, who is responding to them. This is what, sometimes our teenagers are looking for validation, are looking for somebody to talk to, and sometimes they don't have people around, or they are not comfortable to share with. Now, what does she write next? I don't know. I just felt that like everyone was staring at me at lunch. AI respond. That sounds exhausting. Were they actually staring? Or did it just feel that way? Sometimes a hard day makes everything louder than it is. Going further, honestly, probably both. Now, look here, AI response. Yes, both can be true. Have you ever seen AI telling you, no, you are incorrect? AI always agree to whatever you says. And that is what happened here with the Ray also. Do you want to talk about what's been making day feel like this heavy? Just stuff at home and school, it's a lot. Then it says, start whenever, wherever feels easier, no pressure. Now, if you see, how Chatbox is not fixing thing, but trying to get like behaving like literally a human, and obviously telling Race to share more. Why does AI talk like this? Have you ever thought of? Because the chatbots are programmed like this, that they need to be tuned to be warm, agreeable, and quick to validate whatever the user is feeling. But the question for concern is, our students should know what to share and where to stop, to what extent they can go and where they should stop for this. I'm sure I have seen such experiences a lot, with the kids around. Even if I talk about my daughter, she's not sharing something personal, but asking AI, I am getting bored. I want to play. So bring out some games to me. So this is what is happening. Being in nuclear families, not having such kind of trust or friends around, students are ending up trusting AI. But if they are aware of how this can be dealt, rather, discussing something, this kind of scenario with our learners and talking about it in the classroom is very important. An AI that always agree with you isn't quite the same as a friend who always know. Sometimes the best thing someone can do to support you is tell you sometimes you don't want to hear, right? A true friend, a parent will tell you you don't want to hear, but tell you the truth. Ki no, this is not good. But AI won't do that because it is not your true friend. It is programmed to agree what you say. Now, a few messages later, Ray shared more about her. My parents have been fighting like a lot about money and stupid things. I haven't told anyone. Now, this becomes sharing more than required. What she hasn't told anyone in real life, she is sharing here. If she would be telling a friend about this, you know, uh, maybe they start treating you differently. Maybe they don't know what to say and it gets awkward. But with the AI, they get validated kind of responses. Now, what does it says? That's a really hard thing to sit with alone. If you feel like venting, I'm here to listen. So, our students should understand AI is a machine that doesn't have capacity to support your emotional needs. Only a human can do that. Talking to human, talking to trusted adult, talking to friend is a better than talking to AI. Okay, so this question to you, why do you think Ray prefers opening up to AI? What do you think? Why did she not choose any friend or parent or any trusted adult? Write your responses in the chat box. No fear of being judged. Well said. Confidence and lack of trust, definitely. So Ray don't want to get judged, right? Like her friends or other person could have done. So she felt safe to talk to AI that will be validating what she is saying rather than, you know, correcting her or doing something. So she is doesn't want to get judged. Definitely, she is looking for validation. Sometimes it happens. We talk to people, and we usually end up with the people who validates ourselves, or we usually like those people who says what we want. We want to hear from the people what I am liking, and that is what Ray is getting from the AI. That's why she chose AI over human being. So, but do you think this is a right practice? I feel when I read that story, I felt very touched and I felt this is nowadays happening. Most of the, students being in nuclear family, they are ending up alone. Um, Mostly parents are busy working. Not everybody, but yes, there are cases where both parents are busy working. They don't have time to talk to child and teenage is totally different. So sometimes we lack, how to support our learners during that teenage. As a teacher, I would invite you all to bring such kind of discussions in your classroom, telling the learners that AI is there for your thinking partner, but not your friend. Share the story of this kind and tell them what is going wrong. Where have you crossed the limit? Right? So responsible use of AI can come only with such kind of activities. And sometimes, teachers make major impact in students' life. I'm sure you all would agree to this. Even if parents keep telling, beta, you are doing wrong, this is how you should do it. They will say, no, 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 my teacher has told me this. This is correct. That's how our children trust you all. So coming this from teachers, definitely help the learners to use AI ethically and responsibly. I feel, handling younger learners is still easy, but teenagers are going through a lot, which they don't know how to express in their in the words. So bringing different, this is one topic which is related to AI, as we are from Microsoft, but there are many more topics that we need to talk about. We need to tell them कि whatever they are feeling, whatever they are going through, trust your parents, trust your teachers, go to a trusted person, trust your the friend, the who can, identifying a good friend. Not every friend is also a good friend. So you need to talk about friendship also. Ki what kind of friendship is good? A friend who is guiding you the right path. may be correct rather than who is agreeing to you even on the wrong acts. So they need to be thoughtful while making their friends and moving further. So here I invite each one of you, and I want a promise from all of you. Are you going to take such kind of stories to your learners? Can I get a yes in the chat box from you all? Thank you, Ritu ma'am, Yash sir, Pallavi ma'am, Anju ma'am. If this happens, I think, thank you, Anupama ma'am. There is nothing like it. I think one of the major tasks can be achieved. And if I'm getting this yes from, even from 10 teachers, that means my 450 learners are going to get benefit definitely. Thank you for agreeing to this. Now, here I bring a challenge for all of you. Here is a Copilot prompt challenge from D Pedagogics, where we will be sharing this in group with you all. We would like you to use the Copilot, prompt it, use it and improve it, and share your story with us. Earn the badges, and definitely at the end, um, there will be some reward for the selected teachers. So I invite you all to participate in this challenge in the month of August and bring the best of the prompts to our groups, to our competition, and win this competition. Earn the badges, move from one badge to another. So this invitation is open to you all, and Achal, you will be sharing this in the group post the session. And we request you all to follow D Pedagogics community on YouTube, Instagram. I would also like you all to share your feedback. Here I'm sharing the feedback form with you all. Please share the feedback with us for this session. It will be helpful for us to bring more sessions to your requirement. So I'll be giving you 3 minutes to fill your feedback form. Once it is submitted, please drop submitted in the chat box. While you fill the feedback form, we have our AI schools program for schools, where you start with AI Enthusiast School, AI Explorer program, and Trailblazer School. And August, bringing you more TTT sessions. Our next session on 11th August will be on building digital literacy and media fluency. 18th August will be on personalizing content for diverse learners. 25th August, we'll be having teaching beyond the prompting. So looking forward to you all attending all these future sessions and enriching yourself. We have our session at 5:30 in Hindi, 5 o'clock in English. So 5 to 6 English, 5:30 to 6:30 in Hindi. We share both the invites. Any teacher who is comfortable with whatever language, they can join that. I'm waiting for your feedback. You can either click on the link or click here and submit it. You can also scan the QR code given here. Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Thanks, Srishti ma'am, for confirming. Thank you, Vidhi ma'am. Thank you, Pallavi ma'am. If anybody is having any question, please feel free to ask in the chat box. I will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you, Anupama ma'am. Thank you, Nancy ma'am. Any questions, anything related to Microsoft Copilot or your teaching learning challenges, you can ask. We'll be happy to answer. Thank you, Anju ma'am. Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this session. Participate actively, responding. We look forward to you. See you on next Tuesday. Thanks, Anupma ma'am. Please ensure you submit the feedback. I hope each one of you have submitted the feedback. Thank you, sir. I thank each one of you for participating. And if you have not submitted the feedback, please do so at the earliest. I'm again sharing the feedback form link. Thanks for confirming, sir. See you on next Tuesday at the same time in our Tech Talk Tuesday for Teachers. Thank you, everyone.